Hi.
Hey.
Hi, my name's DWI.
Hi, I'm Chef Eric Meisel.
And we are here today at Creative Cuisine on Bush Boulevard in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, and today we're going to be making some bacon jam.
Bacon jam. Can you believe it? Bacon jam. I didn't know that you could make bacon into jam.
Yeah, of all things. I mean, bacon and then like jelly, jam. I mean, it brings so many different home thoughts.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah, it's really
and
good.
it smells good. Now, you said that we are rendering down the bacon. Now, for those of you at home who do not know what rendering means, what does that mean, Chef?
Well, what we're doing is we took, this is a 9 to 11 count bacon. What that means, first of all, is that 9 to 11 pieces of bacon per pound. So it's a little bit thicker.
Okay.
Nice, thick country style. I took that and I diced that down to about a 1/4-inch dice.
Nice.
That dice then goes into a nice hot skillet like this,
Uh-huh.
and we render. And what that means is that we render out the fat, we cook out the fat.
Okay.
So we're essentially left with the meat.
Right. And we've already drained a little bit of the fat off, correct? Because we're not going to use all of the fat from the rendered off bacon. Right?
Exactly. With the bacon, all we want is we want the meat. We don't want a lot of the fat, but we want a little bit of the fat to help bind the jam.
Perfect. That sounds wonderful.
So, when you do this, leave maybe about 1/4 of the fat that the bacon has in the pan, and then you're ready to go.
And then you can use that leftover bacon fat to put in other things, right, at home?
Oh, absolutely.
To make your vegetables taste better.
Oh, vegetables, cornbread, a lot of different things there. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to thinly slice this onion. So that was the fast way.
Have you noticed that he's doing that and I am not, because I would lop my finger off with that knife?
And we're just going to take this guy and we're going to rock him down. So,
perfect!
There we go.
And that goes in with the bacon?
That goes right in there with the bacon.
And then this is going to soften up them onions, right?
It will. It will. We're going to cook those onions right up inside that bacon there. And that is going to be just absolutely...
So we are back, and we have rendered down our bacon in a little skillet over here on the side.
Oh, yeah. And not only that, but we put the onions in there. They've been in there for about 5 minutes.
So look how they've gotten all kind of brown and rendered down. Beautiful.
That is gorgeous.
And during the commercial break, we have brought our little friend in right here, this little galvanized pig. Isn't that cute he is? He decided to come and watch us cook up his brother.
That's a little sadistic.
It is, I'm sorry. That's just the way I roll. Okay, now, so we got that going. Now, what are these other ingredients that we have here on the countertop?
This is the rest of the show.
Okay.
So once I put these in, it's up to the jam to start making itself.
Awesome.
So we're going to start off with a little cinnamon, nutmeg, and cayenne mix.
Ooh, cayenne give it a little heat, right?
A little bit of heat.
Okay.
Now what that is that's a 1/4 tablespoon or 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and 2 1/4 teaspoons, which would be a 1/2 teaspoon, of the cayenne.
Perfect.
Okay.
And this is all going to throw in there. I know.
Throw it all in here.
I'm sorry. Okay,
yep,
go.
Absolutely.
Next.
And then we got the whiskey.
Ooh.
Yeah, love whiskey, right?
Got to have some booze in
That's
there.
right.
All right.
A little sherry.
Ooh, more booze.
More booze.
Just up my alley.
Ketchup. Brown
sugar, I know what that is.
Yep, brown sugar.
Garlic.
Garlic. Maple syrup.
Now these can be confused because this looks just the same as that.
I know.
Maple
that's the reason
syrup
I had to put that there. Maple syrup and
coffee.
And this is an Italian roast coffee.
Does it have to be?
You know, better flavor.
Dark roast, Italian roast.
So I'm
Sumatra.
I'm going to keep going here.
Ooh, I like that sizzle sound.
Smell that coffee there. Got the garlic in there.
This looks very simple to make.
We're going to put in the brown sugar. I'm going to give that a little bit of stir. Make sure everybody's all happy inside there.
And what kind of heat do we have this going on? Just a medium heat?
About a medium heat, yep. At this point, you don't want to burn your bacon or scorch your onions. And especially with now the garlic in there. The garlic goes in. You don't want that to end up scorching or burning because that will make the dish bitter.
Right. That's what happens when the garlic gets cooked too fast, right?
Yep.
I've heard that before.
Alright, now we're going to put in our booze.
Sherry.
Make it a little drunken here. Now what's happening here too is this is caramelizing the onions and the bacon with the sugar.
What does caramelizing mean?
I'm glad you asked. Caramelization is when the sugar starts to bring all the different ingredients together. So you have a, oh, thank you very much. I'm talking with my hands, so you can stir.
I can stir.
When the sugars start to, they liquefy, and then the liquid burns off, and that sugar starts to bind everything together.
Okay.
And it also is cooking at the same time. So if you've had caramels, it's basically sugar that's been cooked down and browned, and you got your caramel.
Now, do you have to be careful when you're cooking with booze on top of the fire? Does it ever catch on fire?
You do if you're using a high proof. These are cooking booze, so they're not very low proof.
I didn't know there was a difference. You can buy cooking booze?
You can. That way you don't take a little nip off the bottle whenever you're in the kitchen.
I would. Seriously? I didn't know that. So why would you not use high test booze? Because you want to burn the house down?
You can, but because of where this has to go, so far as what we were talking before about reducing and rendering things down to a thicker paste, or we're making a jelly.
Yes.
Those booze, which if you used a higher shelf item, would be kind of worthless. You wouldn't want to waste a good booze on doing something like that. You just want
I get it. So I understand.
Absolutely. Just the flavor. It's really.
So it really doesn't. Okay, I get it.
So
now that was sticky stuff. That was the maple syrup.
That was the maple syrup, and then the ketchup.
Can I stack up these little silver bowls?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll clean it. We like to have a clean workstation, right, Chef?
That is correct.
That's why I'm here.
So now we're going to let this come together and reduce for probably about 15-20 minutes or so.
And that's going to get thicker.
And that's going to get
not
thicker.
So much soupy.
Absolutely.
Terrific. Now, while that's happening, I have to ask a question right here. Why have we put our cutting board on this little towel? Because I see that happen a lot.
Oh, well, this towel is underneath this cutting board, so as you saw me cutting that onion earlier,
yes,
the cutting board wasn't moving around on me. Because if that cutting board moves and I'm cutting with that knife,
you go right through your finger.
Go right through my fingers.
Because this cutting board doesn't have any little rubber stoppers or anything on the bottom that would keep it from scooting around on the little countertop. All right, well, that's a good tip to know. Perfect.
So we're going to let this reduce about another 15 minutes.
Awesome.
And
we'll be
going
back.
to show how to plate it.
Yay! And we're back.
Yes, we are. And this took actually less than 15 minutes. So it only took about maybe 5-7 minutes, half the time I thought it was going to. And it's just a beautiful looking start
That's nice.
to this jam.
So now it's all gooey and melted down and cooked.
Absolutely.
Now what do we do with it?
All right, we're going to take it and put in a little Cuisinart over there.
Which I will plug in because you must have power to make this work.
Yes, that's brilliant.
And look what I have here. This little handy extension cord that we have run through the studio. Okay.
So, we're going to take this jam here. And at this point, you could use this just as is. This would be like a really nice condiment.
It looks good.
Absolutely.
Could you put that on ice cream?
Yes, you could. Now, maybe not in this form. In this form, this would really go well as a burger topper.
Ooh.
Put it on maybe an Italian sausage. Bratwurst, absolutely. Really yummy stuff there.
Delicious. I'll let you put the top on because I've never made one of these work.
So, very simply done.
Now it's still hot. Is it going to blow up?
Nope. We're just going to pulse it a little bit. I want this to look a little bit more like a relish.
Okay.
So we're just going to pulse this a few times. And that chops up all that yummy goodness in there.
Perfect.
So it looks a little bit more like a chutney.
Yes, it
That's
does.
fantastic.
What is a chutney?
A chutney is well, it's a little bit more like along the lines of what we're doing here. But you would also have this maybe with a little bit of age on it.
Okay.
But it's similar to this.
Delicious.
All right, so we're going to show just how pretty that can be.
Oh, that's nice.
Put that on there.
So
on
that's
the plate.
this?
That is that.
Oh my gosh. And we're serving it with crackers today, correct?
We are. And then I brought along a little bit of fresh thyme.
Oh my goodness.
Put on there. Do you have a problem with my fresh thyme?
No, I have a problem with the way you brought it to the studio. Because you know I'm the queen of Tupperware, and we do not use plastic resealable bags. Chef. So I brought you this. Look, it's a Tupperware bowl.
Look at that.
Now you can put your fresh spices in here.
That will be perfect.
Because the environment is going to the toilet, so we're not going to use this anymore. Sorry.
All right, you've corrected me.
That's all right.
But I'll finish out with saying this is not only great as an appetizer, as we have shown here, but we also would love to put this, on pork loin, some grilled pork chops on a burger. We've even said ice cream would be fantastic. Like maybe a really nice high-end vanilla ice cream would be fantastic.
Well, this is delicious. Thank you for sharing that with me today.
Absolutely.
Awesome. So until the next time,
I'm Chef Eric.
And I'm DWI.